Hello friends, today we are going to start noise in communication system. First of all, we know about that noise. Noise is unwanted, undesired signal. Unwanted, undesired signal. That means any unwanted signal that is associated with desired signal which is known as noise. Noise may be defined as an unwanted form of energy which interferes with the proper and easy reception and reproduction of wanted signal. If you require high quality pictures and we get a low quality pictures, that means there is a disturbance in your pictures quality. This is also called as a noise. Many disturbance of an electrical nature produces noise in receivers which is modify the signal in an unwanted manner. We can hear noise in radio receiver by tuning it to some position between stations. The hiss or static that we can hear in the speaker is noise. That means have you used radio? Then whenever you tuning the channel from one channel to another channel, so there will be noise occurs. So which is noise is a hiss or static. This is called as a noise. Noise also shows up in a television picture as a snow or colored snow known as confetti. If the noise level is high or the signal is too weak, the noise may dominate and make reception unreliable. So that means unwanted, undesired signal with proper reproduction of signal is called as noise. So types of noise are external and internal noise. First one is that external and internal noise. There will be external noise is classified again three parts at atmospheric, second one is a extraterrestrial, and third one is that man-made noise. Internal noise again divided into subparts. First one is that short noise. I am used as a noise for abbreviated N. Next one, thermal noise. Third one, transit time noise. Fourth one, flicker noise. And last one is that partition noise. partition noise. So we will explain first of all external noise. The various form of noise created outside the receiver are also known as external noise. Created outside of the receiver are known as external noise. The external noise is difficult to treat quantitatively. We cannot do much about external noise. International satellite earth stations are also located in noise-free valley as far as possible. Example, Arvi near Junnar in Pune district. The external noise includes atmospheric noise, extraterrestrial noise and industrial or man-made noise. So first of all we will going to explain atmospheric noise. Atmospheric noise or static is caused by lightning discharge, in thunderstorm and other natural electrical disturbance occurring in the atmosphere. These electrical impulses are random in nature, hence the energy is spread over the complete frequency spectrum used for radio communication. Extraterrestrial noise. There are numerous types of extraterrestrial noise or space noises depending on their sources. However, these may be put following two subgroups. First one is that solar noise and second one cosmic noise. So in solar noise, the electrical noise emanating from the sun. This is caused by sun. Under quiet conditions, there is a steady radiation of noise from the sun. The results because sun is a large body at a very high temperatures exceeding 6000 degrees Celsius on the surface and radiates electrical energy in the form of noise over a very wide frequency spectrum, including the spectrum used for radio communication. The intensity produced by the sun varies with time. In fact, the sun has a repeating 11-year noise cycle. Repeating 11-year noise cycle. During the peak of the cycle, the sun produces some amount of noise that causes tremendous radio signal interference, making many frequencies unusable for communication. During the years, the noise is at minimum level. Next will cosmic noise. Distant stars are also suns and have high temperatures. These stars therefore radiate noise in the same way as our sun. This is caused by stars or distant stars. That is breaking of stars. The noise received from these distant stars is thermal noise or black body noise and is disturbing almost uniformly over the entire sky. We also receive noise from the center of our own galaxy, from other distant galaxies, and from other virtual point sources such as quasars and pulsars. Next one is that man-made noise. Which is also called as industrial noise. By man-made noise or industrial noise is meant the electrical noise produced by such sources as automobiles and aircraft ignitions. This is caused by the man or human. Electrical motors and switch gears, leakage from high voltage lines, fluorescent lights, and numerous other heavy electrical machines. Such noises are produced by the arc discharge taking place during operation of these machines. Such man-made noise is most intensive in industrial and densely populated areas. Man-made noise in such areas far exceed all other sources of noise in the frequency range extending from about 1 MHz to 600 MHz. Industrial noise is present in between intense in industrial and densely populated areas. From the external noise, atmospheric and space noise cannot be eliminated. Industrial noise, since it is generated, can sometimes be eliminated at the source by controlling the source. However, there are many sources of industrial noise and hence it is difficult to control it. So, for better communication, the alternative is to generate the strong signal so that it can overcome the noise. Now next one is that internal noise. So in internal noise we have to see short noise, thermal noise, transit time noise and flicker transition noise. So first we will going to discuss internal noise. The noise created by the device used in the receiver called as internal noise created by electronic components such as Resistors, diodes and transistors are the major sources of noise. Such noise is also generally random and hence difficult to treat on an individual voltage basis. However, the internal noise can be described statistically. The internal noise is distributed over the entire radio spectrum. The noise power is proportional to the bandwidth over which it is measured. Since the sources of internal noise are well known, the designer has some control on internal noise. Depending upon the sources, internal noise is classified into different types. So we will explain in details. So first one is that thermal noise. Most important internal noise is a thermal agitation noise. It is found that due to heat, the atoms and electrons in an electronic component move randomly in an electronic component move randomly. This is known as thermal agitations. If the temperature is increased more, the random motion of the above element also increases. Since the components are conductors, the movement of electron constitutes a current flow that causes a small voltage generation across the component and which become the noise. The noise power developed across a resistor is directly proportional to the temperature. It is also proportional to the bandwidth over which the noise is to be measured. That means the statement is, may I repeating again, the noise power which is notated by Pn across a resistor is directly proportional to the temperature. It is also proportional to the bandwidth over which the noise is to be measured. So this is the derivation for that. Noise power is directly proportional to temperature as well as bandwidth, where Pn is maximum noise power output of resistor. T is absolute temperature. Which value is in degree Kelvin. B is bandwidth. In hertz. K is a Boltzmann constant. Which value is 1.38 into 10 raised to minus 23 joule per Kelvin. The resistor, even though not connected to any voltage source is a noise generator and there is a large voltage developed across it. The voltage developed in random and therefore has a definite RMS value but no DC component. The voltage developed across resistor can only be measured using AC meter. So for equivalent circuit diagram is that resistance noise generator. So in figure we can see that RL is noiseless and receiving maximum noise power generated by R. From figure, the maximum power transfer will be there if RL is equal to R. Assume that RL is equal to R by using maximum power transfer theorem. Power is given by the expression Pn is equal to V square upon RL, but RL is equal to R and V is equal to Vn by 2. Therefore, Pn equal to Vn by 2 bracket square divided by R, which is nothing but Vn square upon 4R. Vn square is equal to 4R Pn. But we know that Pn is equal to KTB. So put the values of Pn in this above equation 1. So we get Vn square is equal to 4R KTB. Taking square root of both sides, we get Vn is equal to square root of 4R KTB. By using this equation, we see that square of the RMS noise voltage associated with a resistor is proportional to the absolute temperature of the resistor, value of the resistor and the bandwidth over which the noise is measured. To reduce thermal noise, one way is to use minimum bandwidth acceptable to the applications. By using this formula, we can solve problems. So we will see later on. Now, next noise is short noise. Another type of internal noise is known as short noise. This is a type of internal noise. Electronic components such as transistor and tubes are the main sources of the noise. Main sources for this noise are transistors, and tubes are the main sources of this noise. Short noise is produced by random arrival of electrons or holes at the output electrode of an amplifying device. The output electrode may be a plate in a tube or collector or a drain in a transistor. The random arrival of electron at the output causes randomly varying noise. Current is superimposed on the output. That means this noise is created by electronics components. Short noise is also produced by the random movement of electrons or holes across a p-n junction. In bipolar transistor, short noise is due to random drift of current carries across the junction. The path taken are random and therefore unequal, so that even though average collector current is constant, small variation occur. Many variables are involved in the generation of short noise. There is no simple equation relating to short noise for diode. Next noise is that transient time noise. In communication, high frequencies are used in the upper VHF range and beyond the time taken by an electron to travel from the emitter to the collector of a transistor becomes comparable to the period of the signal being amplified, and then the transient time effect takes place. Transient time is the time duration taken by current carrier such as hole or electron to move from the input to the output. The devices are very tiny, so distance involved is small, but current carrier takes at a finite time. At low frequencies, this time is negligible. The problem arises when frequency of operation is high and the period of the signal being processed is the same order of magnitude as the transit time. The transit time gives random noise with the device. The transit time noise is directly proportional to the frequency of operations. So we discuss short noise, thermal noise, transient noise, and last one is that two flicker noise and partition noise. Which is also called as low frequency noise. At low audio frequencies, noise is called as a flicker or modulation noise is found in transistor. It is proportional to the emitter current and junction temperature. and is inversely proportional to the frequency. The spectrum density of noise increases as frequency decreases. Hence, it is sometimes referred to as 1 by f noise, that is, noise varying inversely with the frequency. In a semiconductor devices, flicker noise arises due to fluctuation in carrier density. The conductivity of the semiconducting material depends on carrier density. As carrier density fluctuates, conductivity will also fluctuate. When the direct current flows through the semiconductor, fluctuating voltage drop is produced, which is flicker noise voltage. Flicker noise can be completely ignored about 500 Hz. Hz it will ignore. Next one is that partition noise. This type of noise occurs when current has to be divided between two or more paths and it results from the random fluctuation. In the division. For example, in case of transistors, there are three terminals of transistors, N, P, N, or emitter, base, collector. There is a noise due to the random motion of the carriers crossing emitter, base and base collector. Emitter, base collector, or base to collector junction, and also due to the random recombination of holes and electrons in the base. As the emitter current is divided into base and collector current, there is a partition effect arising from the random fluctuation in this division of current between the collector and base. In a PN junction diode, there is no division of current because we use only two types of semiconductors. That means there is no partitions of noise, and hence if all other factors are equal, then diode is less noisy than transistor. As diode is less noisy than transistor in a microwave receiver where bandwidth is large, diode mixers are used to minimize the noise. So, in this lecture, we see that types of noise, external and internal noise. They are subdivided into many more parts. So, in this part, we have to mention the one formula for that, thermal agitations noise. So formula for that, noise power is equal to KTB. So by using this formula, we can solve many more examples. So we will see in next lecture. Thank you.